everybody. Welcome into a very special MMA edition of the Early Edge. We are powered, as always, by SportsLine. And if you were following us last night, and if you're not following us at YouTube or at Apple Podcasts, what are you doing? Last night, we're the only show that does the PFL. My man Ian Parker hit a straight bet and a four-way parlay that cashed plus money. Now, this week, UFC Fight Night. Prelims start at 7 Eastern on Saturday. The main card starts at 10 Eastern time, so let's bring in the star of the show. This man is so hot that I've got to come to the show with a fire truck and hoses and everything. It is crazy. Ian Parker, I can't even go on social media anymore because you're becoming such a big star. How are you, sir?
You're too kind. You're too kind. I'm great. Last night was awesome with PFL, and now we got another big weekend with the UFC. Let's go.
As the Maestro always says, on to the next. Here we go. First fight on our card. Felipe Colares, plus 120 underdog, taking on Luke Sanders. He's the favorite at minus 140. What do you like here? This is on the prelims in the featherweight division.
Yeah, I like grabbing fights early in the card. Gets us a good, nice little start. I like Luke Sanders here. He'll be the better striker, better wrestler, better cardio. He just needs to watch out for that guillotine choke of Colares. If he can stay away from that, Luke should be able to get a nice victory and carry on.
All right, very good. Our next fight, Luana Panero, minus 170 as the favorite. Ronda Marcos is the underdog at plus 145. This is the final fight on the prelim card in the women's strawweight division. What do you like?
Ronda Marcos, I think this is a winner-go-home type of fight. She's lost 4 in a row. Her wrestling's become way too predictable. Her striking is too hesitant against Luana Panero, who's won a lot by submission. Out of her 8 wins, 7 by finish, coming off a beautiful KO on the Contender Series. She's going to be a rising star. I like Panero here.
All right, very good. Our third fight, and I know right now you're thinking, you're giving me this many straight fights? Yes. Whenever there's odds that we can play, we would love to play them. All right, the favorite in this next fight, Ian Cutela, minus 140. Hopefully I got that right. Dustin Jacoby is the underdog at plus 120. This is on the main card, light heavyweights. And sometimes you got to go with the dog, Ian.
Yeah, so Iwan Cutelaba, the Hulk. Listen, there's no secret how he fights. He comes out the gate very quick, very hard. If he doesn't get the knockout, he gets finished. Dustin Jacoby will just have the better gas tank. As long as he doesn't get into a brawl, can use the distance striking. He'll be the bit more technical striker. I like the Jacoby here at plus 120.
Oh, I love when I see that plus number next to a fight. So do a lot of our followers as well. Okay, let's go to the co-main event fight. This is Gegard minus 170, taking on that old grizzled, tough veteran, Swanson. He's a plus 145 underdog. These are featherweights. What do you like?
Now, look, there's no question that Swanson is getting a second wind in his career, right? He's dug deep. He keeps getting better, 1-2 in a row when he's supposed to lose. However, he is fighting a guy with a similar style, but who's just better, faster. I think that Chikazi is just that new type of fighter that's really dangerous. He's good on the ground, but his striking is elite beyond. I like Chikazi here. I think he puts an end to Cub Swanson's win streak, and Chikazi then fights a ranked fighter, and we see him as a dark horse in the division.
We always say we like to educate and also entertain. When you see that minus 170, if it's a football game or a basketball game or even a baseball game, that is considered high odds. In MMA, that is not considered high odds. We like to put our benchmark at minus 200 or below. Those are pretty good odds that we don't mind laying in MMA. Before we get to your main event pick, people just wait for Parker's parlay. They chant it from the mountaintops. Give me a three-fighter parlay that you like Saturday night.
Yeah, I like Sean Strickland coming off a big win over Brendan Allen. I just see that this is a guy who's finally found himself. He's back in training, and he looks great. Gabriel Benitez coming off an excellent win with those kicks. Look, his coach Javier Mendez out of AK said, I've never seen someone kick so hard. If he could just avoid the brawls, just use those kicks, set up his striking, not many guys will be able to beat him in this division. And last but not least, Merab the Machine Dvalishvili. I probably got that last name pronounced wrong, and I know him well, so that's really bad on my end. But this is a guy who just does not stop. He's fighting a tough guy in Cody Stamen, who's also a wrestler with decent striking, but Merab's pressure is just going to be too much, and these three should give you a nice parlay at plus 191.
Oh, I love that plus 191. You hit that four-way parlay on last night's show. That I believe was anywhere from plus 140 to plus 150. But it's always nice. It's always nice when we hit them the day before. All right. We always pick every single time we do this episode the main event. It doesn't always have to be a side, but Here are what the numbers look like. Dominic Reyes plus 110 as the very, very slight underdog, taking on Yuri Prochazka at minus 130. The over 1.5 is coming in at minus 175. Is there a play anywhere there that you like?
Yeah, so if I had to pick between these two, I would lean Reyes at dog odds because he's been the more experienced fighter in the UFC. He took John Jones to a decision. Obviously, his last fight against Jan Blachowicz, he got slept. Yuri Prochazka, here's my issue with him. One fight in the UFC, it's been a year. He did lose that first round, came back and beat Volkan Ozdemir. Both these guys, Yuri is one of those guys that will just hunt for the knockout, but he's not going to rush it. So he will be patient. He'll just swing without doing many combos. That's good for us here. Dominic Reyes is going to have to use his athleticism. He's going to have to use the ground game because if he gets into a slugging war, he's going to get knocked out. He doesn't want that to happen 2 times in a row. We've seen Reyes go to decisions before. We've seen him use his jab. He has to bounce around and he cannot just come straight forward in this fight. That's why I like over 1.5. I think the first round is a big feeling out process. There's a lot of things up for grabs in this fight. The winner could be the next contender for the title.
Now, be careful because depending on what book you use at home, it may not have over 1.5. It may only have over 2.5. Be very careful in which button you push on the over for this fight. Make sure it's over 1.5 because we've had that happen before. Okay, we're up against it. Grab your paper, grab your pencil. Here is the recap for Ian Parker, who has been ridiculous. Let's hope that continues. Luke Sanders, minus 140. Panero, minus 170. Jacoby, plus money at plus 120. Kazi, minus 170. Then in Parker's parlay, we like Strickland, Benitez, and the Machine. And then in our main event pick, over 1.5 rounds, coming back at minus 175. Favorite part of the show, you've got your marching orders. Let's take every single ticket straight to the MMA pay window. For the Duck Army, Ian Parker. For the jeweler who puts it all together, our executive producer. I am the coach. I'm settling in Saturday night, baby. Oh, 1, 2, 3 to the 4. Let's go. The only place for your MMA early edge. Good luck.